Hey folks, it's me again. Time for the Smackdown recap. Yeah, this is going up a little earlier. Recording a little earlier than usual today. It's my own chance to laptop probably for today. Overall thoughts on the show. Not bad. I didn't think it was as good as last week's, or the last couple of weeks have been. I mean, definitely better than Raw, but that's no comparison there. So I mean, overall, I thought the show was a mixed bag. So I guess we can just get right into this. Sheamus comes out and talks about Del Rio beating Randy Orton and Kane in the three-way last week for a #1 contender match. And then he thought he'd come out and beat Ryder in the way he knows how. And then they re-show the clip of Del Rio winning a three-way last week, and then after post-match afterwards, Sheamus coming out and clubbing Del Rio in the back of the neck behind. And then Sheamus says that he was letting Del Rio know what he got himself into. So then, Sheamus says that he doesn't have any intention of kissing Alberto's rear end because he intends to kick it. So then Sheamus mentions that, it's like Del Rio thinks he's better than everybody and that money can buy anything. Like a kind of a new modern $1 million man version there. But that money can buy everything. But Sheamus says that money can't buy him everything, and it sure can't buy, and it damn sure can't buy him the world title. Then Mr. Coffee Mug, David Otunga, comes out, and Sheamus just sarcastically says that it's great to see him. Then Sheamus, then he asks Otunga, hey, how's your head after I kicked it off his shoulders on Monday night? And Otunga says that he's out there because of Johnny Ace for a different matter. First he wants to show some video evidence from a couple weeks ago, and they show when Sheamus ran and bumped into the injured Johnny Ace. And then Otunga says that last week he was on Smackdown to get an apology from Sheamus, but that didn't happen. So then Otunga says he's not asking Sheamus to apologize, he's ordering him to. And Sheamus is like, you're ordering me, fella? And he says, this isn't a Starbucks where you order a coffee or whatever it is you drink over there, which is a pretty funny line. But then, Sheamus says that if Otunga tries to order him around, he'll be, this is a weird one. He'll be picking his coffee cup out of his Irish for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so then Sheamus says that if Johnny Ace wants an apology, then he should just reel himself down to the ring and ask for an apology right to Sheamus' face. Otunga says that Sheamus should reconsider what he's thinking, and then Alberto Del Rio comes out, and Del Rio says that Otunga is wasting his time and his breath because he won't get an apology from Sheamus, or as he referred to him as this peasant. Then he said Del Rio says Sheamus is nothing but a street hooligan, and he says that would be why people like Sheamus will end up working for people like himself and Otunga. And then he tells Otunga not to worry about anything because he says Sheamus will be really sorry because of No Way Out. He'll become the new world champion. And Otunga thanks Del Rio. He says he appreciates the sentiment. And then Otunga says that Sheamus needs to have some more of immediate repercussion or what have you. So then he says that Johnny Ace has allowed Del Rio to pick Sheamus' opponent for later on in the show. Then Sheamus says that he's sorry, but not about what he did to Johnny Ace. And then he broke kicks Otunga, and Otunga falls into Del Rio, and Del Rio rolls out of the ring. And then Sheamus just, kneels over Otunga and says that he's sorry for what he's about to do to him. And then he tells Del Rio, as he's walking up the ramp, he says, never trust a hooligan. Not a bad opening segment. That was okay for what it was. The Sheamus' promo was okay, except when he does the whole Irish folktale bit. But it was alright. I guess I've seen worse on Raw. So then we had the returning Sin Cara, who was wearing red with white trimming instead of his usual blue and gold trimming. Against the one-man Southern jobber, Heath Slater. Solid match, solid back and forth match. Of course, Sin Cara went over there. Then they recapped a couple weeks ago when Daniel Bryan had Kane with the chair, and then he gave the chair to Punk, and Kane thought it was Punk, and then Kane choked, and then Kane of went to Punk and chokeslam and what have you. Next match was Ezekiel Jackson versus Damien Sandow. But before bell sounds before, and then after that, before the match begins, Sandow gets the mic and he says that once again he's standing before another ignoramus, and he pretty much does the same shtick. He says, I will not be facing this unworthy opponent this evening. Blah blah blah. You're welcome. And then he actually goes to leave the ring. But Zeke just pulls him back in, and the match happens. Mostly a squash. Sandow got the pin after the neck breaker, what have you. Zeke got in some offense, but this was more about getting Sandow's character over. And then he did the Lanny Pavo genius cartwheel afterwards. Like I said, Damien Sandow is just amazing right now. He's one of my favorite guys in the business right now. Certainly in WWE. So then we go to Alberto and Ricardo backstage, and then Alberto's trying to think of who Sheamus can face later on in the show. Dolph Ziggler comes in and he asks Del Rio to pick him, so Del Rio agrees, and that's it. So we got Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler later on. So now we get the two unknown guys in the ring cutting a promo before the Ryback squash. This is getting stale. So these two unknown guys, Bryan Shelton and Chris Lyons, are cutting the usual promo before they get squashed. Then Ryback comes out, gives them the double muscle buster, splashes them 1, 2, 3. That's all. So I don't know why they still have Ryback splashing these unknowns. Getting kind of boring. So then Vicky Guerrero comes out, does the whole, everything with the crowd, to get the crowd heaving, what have you, So she says that tonight she made a special arrangement, and then Dolph Ziggler just comes out and he snatches the mic and he says, tonight he beats the world champion. So then we get to Sheamus versus Dolph. Good match, actually. Sheamus went over here, not since he's the world champion. But I thought it was a good match. I actually thought it was the best part of the show. So that was good. That was a good match. So much, Dolph Ziggler's push is not going to be happening because Randy Orton got himself suspended for 2 months. Hey Orton, you was a dumbhead. Not the Dolph. He was going to bury Dolph anyway. Dolph is the we need someone to push the old top guys. We're like, okay, let's push him and then bury him again. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to go on a rant about how they yo-yo young guys. So then Matt Striker interviews CM Punk backstage about Punk's championship match with Kane later on, and Punk says that little Johnny Ace can order Punk all around all he wants. Punk says he likes the competition. Punk says that Johnny is doing this because he wants the WWE title anywhere but around Punk's waist because it embarrasses him. And then Punk says that he represents everything that Laurinaitis doesn't like in the world, which Punk was okay with because he doesn't want anything to do with Laurinaitis anyway. And then Punk says that Johnny is everything that he can't stand in the world. So then he says that Kane is, as for Kane, he's tough and scary, but tonight the best in the world will make the demon go to sleep. So promo, CM Punk is always good on the mic. Then we have, I don't know what the hell the point of the tag match was. It was Santino Marella and Zack Ryder versus Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. For some reason, I don't know why, but Marella and Ryder win. Santino rolls up Darren Young. 1, 2, 3. That was it. It was, really short match. I have no idea why they had O'Neil and Young lose. So then afterwards, Big Show comes out and he just flattens Marella and Ryder. He throws Ryder into the ring barrier, the steel steps. Then Big Show takes the steel steps, puts him on the ramp, and Zack gets up, gets a bit of offense in, but Show eventually gets the upper hand. Scoops Ryder onto the steps. Then with Ryder on the steps, he just picks up the steps and flips him over, and Ryder falls on the ramp. Then Show takes the steel steps up to the stage, and he beats on Santino, puts him on the steps, and locks him in a camel clutch, and then gives Santino Marella a knockout punch. Okay, way to get continue getting Big Show over as the monster, but like I say, he flattened the comedy jobbers. So I guess all right for what it was, but I mean, you knew Santino and Ryder were getting flattened by the big monster, by the big giant. So then AJ's backstage, she's got the CM Punk t-shirt and wristbands. Daniel Bryan comes by and says the Punk doesn't care about AJ, and Punk's just using her. And then AJ says that it sounds like Daniel Bryan is jealous, and she asks what does Daniel care what she does. He said that he doesn't now, but he did once, which is more than he can say for Punk. Okay, backstage segment. I don't know where they're going with the AJ character being all, like semi-psycho and confused and what have you. So then we get to our next match, before, Christian is on commentary for, and they show him beating Cody Rhodes over the limit for the Intercontinental Championship. So then we get to Tyson Kidd versus Cody Rhodes. Good but a little too short, way too short a match. Cody got the quick pin. And then afterwards, Cody goes outside to face off with Christian. Christian rips off his takes his headset off. Christian and Cody face off, and then Christian, just holds up the Intercontinental Championship like that to him, and then Cody just walks out. So there's nothing to it. Main event time. So we get to the main event. Kane and Punk title match. AJ actually came out from ringside again to watch during the match. To watch. Match went to no finish. Daniel Bryan came out, went after both guys. What happened? Daniel Bryan came out, dove onto. Daniel Bryan came out. Punk dove onto him on the outside. Then Kane got grabbed Punk, and he was gonna choke slam him, and then Punk gave him a roundhouse kick. Then a bit later, Daniel Bryan comes back in and jumps off the top rope and drop kicks both guys. That leads to the double DQ. So then, after the match, Daniel stomps on Punk and chants yes after every stomp. And then he gets Punk in the corner, gives him a few roundhouse kicks, and does a yes after every one of those too. Then he Irish whips him into the opposite turnbuckle, but Punk gets his feet up, and he counters Daniel's incoming clothesline or whatever. Then Punk was going to give Daniel Bryan the GTS. The Kane came in and grabbed Punk by the throat. He goes with him, and then he got Daniel Bryan too, and then he chokeslammed them both. So then Kane stands over both guys, and power goes off. And everything. And then he left the ring and was going to head up the ramp. Then Johnny Ace and Eve come out, and Johnny announces that in No Way Out, it will be CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Kane in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. And that was the show, and it pretty much ended with Punk and Daniel laying on the ring mat selling the Kane choke slams, while AJ had the usual, the usual psycho upset look on his face to end the show. So that was pretty much it. Like I say, mediocre show, I thought, mixed bag, what have you. Like I said, not as good as last week's. It was a little weaker, but like I said, better than Raw. Opening segment was alright. Main event was okay too. Sheamus and Dolph was the best match was the best part of the show. For me anyway, and of course Sandow was continuing to get himself over. He's really good at playing that kind of intellectual hero character. And they had Big Show flattening Santino and Ryder. I mean, as soon as you saw Big Show come out, you knew that was coming. I don't know why they had Titus O'Neil down there and lose to Santino and Zack Ryder, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. And then so we got Kane, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk in No Way Out for the WWE title. I'm hoping Punk and Daniel Bryan walk out champion. Nothing against Kane, but the guy, he doesn't need the belt. I don't think. I don't even think Daniel Bryan is a champion. So hopefully Punk and Bryan will walk out with as a champion. So that'll do it for now. That'll do it now. It's a little shorter than usual, but so I'll be back on Tuesday with a post-Raw video. And till then, you can add me to contact on the YouTube, subscribe to my channel. You can comment there, and you can check out my blog site, TonyVic.blogspot.com, where I recap all the shows. And that'll do it for me today. So till Tuesday when I'm back with my Raw recap video. This is the Tony Viz signing off for now. Take care, folks.